What's going on, guys? This is Seth Ford here, and today I am back with another college football prediction video, and we are finally back with college football. As you guys know, that week one is almost officially over. We got LSU versus USC tonight, and I think there's one more game tomorrow on Labor Day weekend. I mean, it was just so good to have college football back. A lot of interesting games, a lot of close games, a lot of games that almost were upsets but were not upsets. So, and then there was Miami and Florida, and Miami dominating Florida, and of course Clemson getting destroyed by Georgia as per usual because Clemson just won't adapt to the new age of college football. Just Dabo Swinney could be on the hot seat, but that is not what we're talking about today. So today, the game of the week, we're probably going to make two videos today. The game of the week for September 7th of 2024 is we got the current number 4th ranked team in the country, the Texas Longhorns, going on the road to face off the number 9th ranked Michigan Wolverines, who were the previous national champs from last season. And of course, Jim Harbaugh is no longer there, and they lost a lot of guys. Jerome Moore is officially 1-0 as a Michigan head coach. So also, the rankings will probably change after Tuesday, since I think there's another game going on Monday night. I can't remember which game it was, but I think there's going to be another game tomorrow night as well. So I usually like to do also on ESPN. I usually would just go ahead and do like the match predictor, all this stuff too. But I'm making a slideshow this time. Do a little better presentation instead of just the same old type of thing. You guys can go look it up on ESPN yourself. But let's go ahead and go through the slideshow and predict the game for this upcoming weekend. All right, so the location for this game will be at the Big House of Michigan Stadium. I've been there before. The atmosphere is wild. The atmosphere, you can literally feel the stadium shake. It's unreal at the Big House. It's honestly one of the best places or toughest places to play in any college team, alongside like Kyle Field or Ohio State Stadium or just Georgia Stadium as well. I mean, I've been to Georgia and I've been to Michigan. Michigan has a great atmosphere. It's a tough place to play, especially because you can literally feel the whole stadium rocking. It's wild. All right, so the last meeting we have was January 1st of 2005, was a Rose Bowl game. I think Vince Young, I think this was like before they won the national championship against USC, but Texas beat Michigan on a crazy game in the Rose Bowl, 38-37. I don't know what happened, but it looked like a crazy game just from the basis of the score. And that was the last meeting in 2005, a long time ago. It's about 19 years ago. Crazy. It's crazy how far 2005 has gone. Previous game of week one, we have Texas just dominating Colorado State. Though it was a slow start of the game, I think Quinn Ewers threw an interception, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't really watch this game. I tried to watch it, but then it was just a blowout. So pretty much all these games with like Power 5, Power 4 teams playing against like Mountain West teams really isn't fun. But Oregon almost lost to Idaho, and they're an FCS team, so that's wild. So they dominated Colorado State 52-0. Same thing with Michigan. Michigan kind of started out slow. It was like 10-3 at halftime, but then I think Will Johnson had a pick six, and then it was just crazy. Not crazy, but like it was kind of a close game until like the late third quarter, and Michigan pulled away with a 30-10 win. I did not watch that game either, but I saw the highlights and kept up with the score on the stats on Bleacher Report. So a lot of slow starts from both teams, but they're both 1-0, and that's all that matters going into week number 2. All right, so the matchup predictor, it has Texas with a 65.1% over Michigan's 34.9%. And of course, the game odds, we have Texas -4, and of course, Michigan under 48.5. They are the underdogs compared to Texas with a 4 -4 under, and of course, Michigan +4 over. So there you have it with the match predictor from ESPN. Nice little slideshow right there. And then we got the top 3 players of the week from offense and also the defense. We got quarterback Quinn Ewers with 20 completions to 27 attempts with 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, of course, yes, that 1 interception, and a 71.8 QBR. I don't think I put the QBR on Michigan's, but anyways. So, also, Arch Manning went like, 90-something yards with 2 touchdowns, something like that, against Colorado State. He looked fantastic, even though I had doubted his ability to play, but that's just me because I didn't really see him play in a good competition in high school. But they can change. That can change going to college. So I think Arch Manning will be a really good quarterback, and Texas fans are definitely hyped to see him in the lineup after Quinn Ewers leaves, because yes, his last name is Manning. So yeah, running back Jarrett Gibson had a great game yesterday. 10 carries, 67 yards, 6.7 yards average, and 1 touchdown. Ryan Wingo was the leader of the receiving yards, but did not have a touchdown. He went 70 yards, 4 receptions, 17.5 yards average, and 0 touchdowns. Isaiah Bond is probably the most likely the wide receiver 1. He's from Alabama, but he had 1 touchdown, and then Golden had 2 touchdowns as well. So Isaiah Bond was like right after Ryan Wingo. So he is going to be probably the key guy for Ewers. All right, so I don't know what happened with Alex Orji, but apparently from looking at the stats, Davis Warren took over the starting job over Alex Orji, even though he was like the next guy in line to start. So I don't know if he'll start next week, but I have Davis Warren, who had 15 completions to 25 yards, 118 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. So not too bad, but I was confused by that. So let's see how that goes for week number 2 when they play versus Texas. All right, so running back Khalil, if that's how you pronounce his first name, Khalil Mullings. He had a great game with 15 carries, 92 yards, 6.1 yards average, and 0 touchdowns. Though I was kind of shocked that like Donovan Edwards wasn't the key guy for the stat line, but he was the number 1 rushing leader for this week's game. And of course, we have wide receiver Colston Loveland. He was the leader for the receiving with 8 receptions, 87 yards of receiving, 10.9 yards average, and 1 touchdown. All right, the top 3 players of the week for defense. We have defensive back Jalen Guilbeau. I think that's how to pronounce his last name. He had 8 total tackles and 2 solo. We have linebacker Anthony Hill Jr., 5 total tackles, 3 solo, and 1 tackle for loss. We got David Gabinda. He had 4 total tackles, 2 solo, and 1 tackle for loss. And of course, the guys that had interceptions for Texas against Colorado State was Jahdae Barron with 1 interception and Wardell Mack with 1 interception as well. All right, the top 3 players of the week for defense for Michigan. We got Josiah Stewart with 5 total tackles, 5 solo, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs. And of course, we have defensive tackle Rashawn Benny, who is one of their key guys from this year. He had 5 total tackles, 2 solo, 1 sack, and 2 TFLs. So their defensive line is always going to be good for Michigan. So look out for that against Texas. Then we got Makari Page with 5 total tackles and then 2 interceptions from the defensive side. We got Will Johnson, who was a beast, had a pick 6 from Fresno State's end zone and ran it all the way back for a touchdown. That was impressive as well. He's a really good corner, and it could be a top 5 draft pick, in my opinion, for years to come. And of course, Zeke Berry had also a 1 interception as well. And there you have it for the top 3 offensive players and top 3 defensive players on the slideshow. All right, so I might have to redo some edits with the full team stats, but this is a graphic on ESPN that Texas had about 545 total yards, only had 1 turnover, and their defense only allowed 192 yards against Colorado State, so that's pretty impressive. And they forced 2 turnovers against Colorado State, and they had 26 first downs and compared to Colorado State's 11. Though the time clock, they kind of almost had a even game management, even though we all know Texas blew them out anyway, so the time managed possession didn't really matter. Anyways, Michigan, on the other hand, yes, they lost so many players last year, so they still kind of struggled a little bit the first game. Their defense allowed 244 total yards, though they did force 2 turnovers, and they still had 18 first downs, which is kind of crazy. Their time of possession was 26 compared to Michigan's 34, but still, Michigan won the game. They only had 1 turnover with 269 total yards. Not great, but it's the first game they can adjust, and so yeah, there you have it with that. Okay, so my final prediction, I do like Michigan. I've always supported Michigan no matter what. I don't mind Texas. I don't really care for Texas that much, just because their fans always think they're going to be the best of the best. But even though it's on the road, it's a tough environment at the Big House, I still think that Texas will win this game by -6 points. They are the favorites, but anything can happen. I think that they will win this game against Michigan. Michigan lost a lot of guys. I think they're struggling with the quarterback position this year. though they do have a good, solid running game, and of course they have a really good defense. So who knows how the game will turn out? Maybe the game will change because of emotions, and Michigan will win against Texas. But I'm going with Texas with a -6 as the favorites for this upcoming game. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking this out on YouTube. And even though I may not be the best commentary type person on YouTube, but also comment down below of how I did. If I missed anything, please let me know. All right, guys. This is Step 42. Y'all have a great rest of the day and have a good Labor Day weekend as well. All right, guys. Peace out.